Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Hi, Dee. Yes, you are the first person. Welcome and thank you so much for joining. Today, we are going to be doing New Look 6780. We're going to be doing View B. This is a really, really quick sew. And so I was excited to do it. I have already made two pair, and today I'll be making my third pair. This is less than an hour, so we're gonna probably take an hour because I'm gonna walk us through, every step of it, and I'm going to also tell you a little bit of what my experiment has been using different types of fabric other than what is the recommended fabrics are. So yes, we're going to talk through that. I'm going to be answering your questions, and then we're going to talk about a little some other sewing related topics, because again, this is going to be a fairly quick sew, but it's Friday, and so I am excited to let you all get back to your whatever you might be doing, whether it's going out or prepping for another frocktails like I would be doing. Hey D, look, what a coincidence. I have two D's on and you both are the first people to join. And so for those that aren't aware, I am streaming to multiple platforms. I'm streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And so you may see me looking from one camera to the other. And that is again, because I'm streaming to multiple, different, platforms. And so again, we're going to be doing New Look 6780, and I have behind me one of the pairs of New Look 6780 that I created. And so I'm going to talk you through this because we are going to do a couple of things different compared to this first pair that I made. And I have also, and the first thing that we're going to do different is that we are going to be using a knit fabric. So knit is not a recommended fabric for this pattern. They recommend chambray, cotton, denim, double gauze, linen, poplin, and rayon are the recommended fabrics. And I wanted to do it in an ankara to match the hack of Nikki's 2016 Know Me pattern that we did. Did we do this last week? I think we did. Yes, we did this last week. So I wanted to make it in this ankara fabric because I like it a lot. It's not positioned on the dress form correctly because the shorts are bigger than the dress form. So it's a little twisted a little bit. Doesn't give you the full representation. But I am going to be taking some pictures this weekend so that I can, give you a feel for what it looks like, on a person where it's not like pinned to death so that it can fit and stay up on the dress form. But I do have, pockets in here in this version, and it sits really well. This pattern also has what we call like a faux drawstring. So it is elastic around the waist, and it actually is gotta make sure I have so many pins holding this thing on. It's elastic all the way around the waist, and then there is a small area in the front where you actually are pinning, or I'm sorry, you are sewing into drawstrings, but it's not really a drawstring. It is 100% for aesthetic. You do not have to do it unless you like that look. And so I just wanted to share that this is, again, this is for aesthetic. It doesn't give you any support. All of your support will come from the elastic that is in the waist, and it does go all the way around the waist. A couple of other things you want to be mindful of or just aware of in terms of the style of this short, because I did make some other modifications to fit my style. And y'all know how I feel about that. One of the greatest benefits of sewing is being able to create something that makes you look and feel your best. Thank you, Dee. Yeah, look, let me tell you, the days go by so quickly, and I have been working on so many sewing projects off camera. I'm like, I can't remember what I did on and off, camera. And I'm like, okay, when did I do that? So it feels like with all the things that I have done between now and the last Friday, I'm like, it's last Friday when I made this feels like so long ago, because I've been like on a sewing streak. I've sewn more probably in the last 2 weeks than I have in the prior 2 months. So it's been one of those kind of, getting things done, including working on the blazer jacket dress, which is almost done. I'm making a couple of tweaks to it to make it like really be what I want it to be. So it's almost done. So anyway, let's talk about these shorts a little bit before we get into sewing, and I'm going to show you the fabric and stuff that I'm using. So these shorts have what I like to call like a little bit more of a looser fit, a boxier kind of feel or look. And so this is where it's kind of really important to know your body type, because it's particularly if you have a certain type of look that you like. And so for me, I have a very short torso. I also have particularly when I gain weight, I have very little difference between my hip and my waist ratio. It's very short. So at my best, when I'm my most fit, it's probably 10-inch difference between my hip and my waist. And when I have gained a lot of weight, it's down to like 2-inch difference. In other words, there's very little. And so a pair of shorts like this could really make me look boxy because there's nothing to really accentuate my waist. And so what do I do to compensate for that? Well, I usually make it a little bit of a shorter short so that you can see a little bit more of my thigh. So you're able to see that, oh, there is this kind of in and out a little bit. And so if you cover that with the shorts, especially because these shorts have a wider circumference around the leg, then you kind of lose that illusion of, oh, there is this part. So part of what I did was I took about 3 inches off of the length of the shorts. So they do come up there. So basically it's about 4 inches from the high part of the inseam to the bottom of the shorts. And so they are pretty short shorts, but they don't feel, they're still pretty conservative in the grand scheme of things because they have a loose fit. So they're still not cupping your leg at all. So although they're short, they do have a much looser fit. They don't grab your leg at all. And so it still gives you a pretty nice look. So those are a couple of the things that I did. I did, again, reduce the length of the short. I also did reduce the circumference of the short as well, because the short is a little bit wider than this is. And so you'll see when I try it on, when I do the photo shoot for this one. And then so today we are going to be doing a knit version. So I created a knit version, one, to make sure that it was possible to do it, that it wasn't going to look really, interesting, so to speak, that it wouldn't look interesting doing a, knit version. And so it looks actually really nice. I actually really like the knit version, on top of the fact that it is very easy to make. And I made a lot of the same modifications. I did decrease the length of the short. I did also decrease I did decrease the width or the wideness of the shorts, because I cut a size 14 in this cotton one based on the measurement, and it was pretty true to size. It fit me in the waist, but it was much wider in the leg part. And that is probably okay if that's your preference in terms of how you like the short. I like my short not to be that wide, so I did make that modification. So what I did in this one is that I, again, decreased the width and the length of the short. And that's really all that I did. Everything else is the same as the pattern goes. I put the faux, straps in. Again, these will not keep your pants up unless, without changing the look of it. It's purely for aesthetic. All of the security that you're going to get to keep your pants up is going to be in the elastic waistband. So yes. So the next thing so what are we going to do different today? So what we're doing different today is we are still sewing with knit. And let me show you a knit that I have. So that knit that I just showed you is a Ponte knit. And So it's a little bit thicker than this knit that we're going to use today. And then this knit that we're using today is a regular, just a regular knit. I don't know what, it's just knit. It's not Ponte knit. But it still has a nice stretch, but it is very thin, thinner than the Ponte knit is. And so the only big difference between this short and the knit that I did before is that I cut a size 10 with these shorts. So it's going to be interesting because I didn't test out how a size 10 would fit, but I cut a size 10 and did not take off any extra. So yes, I did not take off any extra. So no extra length in the leg and no extra length in no extra width in the leg. I just cut a size 10. So size 14 compared to size 10. And so we'll see, because the bottom line is that I'm trying to see or test out if I could achieve the same look that I liked by modifying the size 14 that I did in a knit by just cutting a smaller size. And because it is knit, I have the room to stretch. So, and just for reference purposes, when I did this Ankara, the waist fit me perfectly. And so I needed that the width of this waist is accurate because I needed that to be able to get it over my hips. There is no zipper in this. So the only way that I could size down probably to a size 10 is if I put a, thank you, Shishi. Thank you so much for the gifts, and thank you all for the likes. It does help to notify people that we are on. So thank you all. Is if I put a zipper in this. That's the only way that I would have been able to size down, because the size 14, based on the measurements that are on the pattern package, is necessary in order for me to be able to get it up. So I thought that the measurements were accurate for the waist and hip, considering that that it is intended to be a looser fit pair of shorts. So anyway, I also, just for the record, I did also create, so you all know I have been sewing McCall 7757. Is that McCall's or simply? Yes, McCall 7757. So I did also create this top that I'm going to use well, I created this top when I created the knit shorts. And it's so cute. It's super cute, fun for the summer. But I'm going to try this on when I try on the shorts. So that's why I ended up picking this fabric, because I felt like it's not 100% of a match, but it's complementary. It has complementary grains in it, so I thought it would be really a good match to try it on. Hey, Shamira, welcome. So let me see, is there anything else we're going to do differently? No, I think that is it. So the only other thing that I'm going to tell you is that I am going to put the pockets in here on today's live, but depending on how they feel when I put them on, if it's too tight and they are poking out at the side, I may end up taking them out later. So we're going to put them in, but we may end up taking them out. So with that said, we're going to do these shorts. We are going to do these shorts. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much again for liking and sharing the live to notify people that we are on today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am taking our front and back pieces of the shorts. Oh, good. Right sides together. I am going to lay the front and the back short piece. I'm going to lay them right sides together, and I'm going to sew them together at the inner leg seam only. So I'm putting them right sides facing up, and then I am laying the back and the front short of each leg on top of each other. There are notches at the inner leg seam that you can match up, that you should match up. Okay, so this one I cut on the fold, so I need to cut it, not cut it. So we're going to do that. So I also, right before we got on this live, I did make a post. I'm going to post it on YouTube as well, but I posted it on my Instagram page because, as you all know, we are like 1, 2, 3 days away from July 1st, which is when I am kind of kicking off my show and tell, sharing my process for Baltimore Frocktails. And I realized one thing, that I have completely struggled to pick a final. I've changed my mind like a dozen times. So I was like, you know what? The best way to handle this is to reach out to the people. You all are the people, and ask for help. Hi, Aisha. Welcome. So I just posted, hopefully it posted, because I literally did it right before I got here. I just posted four. I posted my final 4 outfits that I am considering making for Chicago Frocktails, and I'm asking for your help to help me pick which one. And so I'm asking for your feedback by, I forget what time on Sunday. I did put it in the post, so that I can get started. And I like all of them equally, which is one of the reasons why I struggle to find the pattern that I would go with. So whatever is the most voted for is the one that I'm going to start working on. I will share that. And then the next thing is to start finding patterns, and to, depending on what is the look, to start looking for fabrics, of which I will be sharing all of those. I do not plan to sew my Frocktails outfit at all on live, just because of the amount of kind of thought process, unless I'm doing like a live with other people, because I feel like I won't be able to engage the way that I am engaging right now, because I'll be trying to think through every little piece, particularly because with some of them, I will be, like I did for Chicago Frocktails, be putting together multiple patterns to achieve a singular look. So anyway, please help me. Remember, the theme is maximalism. So I am not making something for the most part that I'm going to be wearing, a lot. I'm looking to go big or go home. And I will also be looking to embody like a full look. So don't think about like, oh my goodness, will she be able to wear this afterwards? Because the intent is really to just be dramatic in every sense of the way. And so once the pattern is selected, once the look is selected, I will be working on picking fabrics and, things like that. So that will help me achieve that final maximalism type of, look. So yeah, I appreciate your help with that. And on Sunday night, I will look and see what the total is, and then I'll share with everybody what the total is. Okay. So with that said, I put together the inseam. I'm stitching them at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Again, this is I'm a little nervous about this because it is so thin, but again, you live and you learn. I'm doing this so you can learn from what I'm doing. What we do know is a Ponte knit has enough structure that it does give you a pretty good look with these shorts. Whether a thinner knit, you can do that with a thinner knit, we will know in less than an hour. We will know. So Shamira, are you still on? For those that don't know, Shamira has set a goal to get to 2,000 followers on her Instagram. And everybody in the sewing community is like, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that they need to follow Shamira. Not because we said so, but really because if you go to her page, and you haven't been following, you will feel like you have been missing out on some of the best content on social media. So she's causing all of us to step our game up. So definitely follow her. She got a lot of big things going on. I haven't looked today, but last time I looked, and I asked Carmen, I was like, did you check where is Shamira at right now? And I forgot what she told me, but I knew it wasn't 2,000. So with that said, if you are not following Shamira, I have to put her IG because I know it's like 1860. Okay, we at 8. Look, she said we because it really is we, right? We are at 1860. So we need 140. So tell a friend to tell a friend to like send it to your friends. Send her page to your friends. I'm telling you, it's not you. They won't regret it, and neither will you. So yes, we at 1860, and we got 2.5 days to go. So I think we can do it. I think we can do it. So follow. Okay, let's see. I got some comments. Let's see. Hi, Latoya. Welcome. Hi, Insync Creatively. Welcome. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, let's see. I love the large flowers. Thank you. Thank you. I do too. You know, I looked at this and I was like, but I feel like with the plain top, you know, I'm not a huge flower person, but it's growing on me. I don't know what I am anymore because let me tell you, as soon as I say I'm not this, then I end up doing something that I'm not. So let me not say that because here we are doing flowers. Here we are doing flowers. So let me see. Is this live or a video? Oh no, it's live. This is live. This is live. I don't. Yeah, this is on it for everyone, regardless of what platform you are on. This is all live. Right now, it's live. If you watch it in the future, for those that are on Facebook and Instagram, it will be. Facebook and YouTube, it will be recorded. Because if you want to see this again, for those that are on TikTok, you can go to Let's Get Social on Facebook and YouTube, and you will be able to see the recorded version of this. So for those that are on YouTube or Facebook, Shamira's social media handle is in the chat, and I will type it on TikTok as well. So you all will have it. It is her Instagram. It is her Instagram handle. Follow. Because we got to get to 2,000. We got to get her to 2,000, and we got 2.5 days. I think we could do it. I mean, I definitely think we could do it. There are 140 people out there that are missing out, and it's our responsibility to help them not be missing out. So let's make it happen. In other news, I am going to be dropping my July and August schedule. I'm excited because I'm going to be doing my first live in July. Will be interviewing some folks from the Baltimore Fractals Planning Committee. So I'm really excited about that. So like if you are wondering or you haven't been keeping up with, or you're just new to finding out and you want to know what's going on, we're going to do that July 5th at 7 p.m. I'm also excited because I'm going to be, you know, this is caftan season. We all love a great caftan. And Denisha posted a caftan recently. So we are collaborating July 19th. We're going to be doing the caftan that she did, which she hacked. We're going to be doing that. But July is the Power Hour quick sews because everybody is kind of getting ready for a lot of things. It's summertime. People are going on vacation. And for me, I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on my Fractals outfit, whichever one you all vote on and choose. It's going to take me time, and I travel a lot for work in July. So I'm like, I think I have 8 sewing days that I could sew. So I'm going to be really busy. So, but I still want to do my Friday lives. I really enjoy them. And so I thought I can't take off a month while I'm getting ready. I have to do them both. So I'm picking what I'm calling 1 hour sews is what we are going to be doing in July. So we're going to basically an hour after we start sewing, we're going to be finished, I promise you. And I know for those that have been here with me for the long haul, that's like unheard of, but hold me to it. We will be done. I am intentionally being very deliberate about picking the patterns that we are going to be doing in July. So I will be posting that schedule shortly after. I'm just trying to confirm a couple of potential collaborators that want to collaborate, either I, them, or they, me, in the month of July or August. But it will be up today before midnight. It will be up. So look forward to that, especially because things are on sale right now, and I want people that do want to sew along to be able to go and get those patterns. And that's one of the things I love about, getting my schedule up in advance, is because you can go and get your patterns that you want to do. So what I'm doing right now is I am sewing together the front and back. And I'll show you in a minute. I am doing 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. There is no recommendation for a, sometimes they recommend that you do like a double stitch right around that curved part. They don't have a recommendation for that here, but depending on the fabric that you use, it's something that, even though they don't recommend it, you can choose to do. I am not doing it, but if you do decide to do it, just do the second stitch along your, within your seam allowance. Okay. I'm very nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous about this because it is so thin. It's like, put it like this. Both of these pieces of fabric, the front and back, together is thinner than one piece of the ponte. So fingers crossed it's not going to be too like thin. We'll see. Okay. So let me show you what I just did. I have just stitched together the front and back along the, what do we call that? We're going to call that the, let's see, I guess it's called the center seam is what we're calling that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Carmen, for the super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, so what we are going to be doing next is you are going to take this, once you stitch it together, you're going to open it up, and you're going to, again, right sides together. You're going to open it up and fold it the opposite direction. So it'll look like basically a pair of shorts at this point. Inseam. Thank you, Carmen. So you're going to open it up and fold it the opposite direction, but with right sides facing each other. And now we are going to put in our pockets. Again, I'm putting these pockets in, but if it does feel too bulky because this fabric is super thin, I'm going to take them out afterwards and just have them without the pockets. I did do, so that's another thing that's different. In this version, I did not, oh yeah, okay, I just want to make sure. I did not do pockets in this version, so no pockets here. So we're going to have pockets in this knit version. So again, with right sides facing each other, we are, I'm sorry, not with right sides facing each other. We're actually going to make them wrong sides facing each other. So you're just going to fold it the other way. So it's going to look like this still. You're folding it the opposite length from when you stitch the inseam. So it should look like this. And you're going to face it with the right side facing up towards you. And you're going to take your pockets and you are going to stitch one pocket on each side, right sides facing each other. So I'm going to pin one down and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here is one of my pocket pieces, and you do have notches that you can match up so that you know your pockets are lined up. But these pockets are also easy in the sense that the top of the pocket, this part, also lines up with the top of the shorts. So if you for some reason forgot to put cut your notches, you can just line it up with the top of the shorts. And let me just see if I can share that with you. Hi, Rosalind. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see. Hi, Loria. Oh, yes. I'm talking about Baltimore Frocktails. Yes. Sorry. The Chicago Frocktails has already ended. And then but it's important to your point that I am distinct because we have a couple of different Frocktails currently, kind of being advertised. New York and Raleigh and Charlotte are all kind of going on at this time, but I'm talking about the Baltimore Frocktail. So thank you. Okay, so let me pin this down and then I'm going to show you exactly what I did. I hope that these pockets do look good and they don't look too bulky with this fabric because one, I don't want to have to take it out, and two, I would really like to have pockets because I kind of regret not putting pockets in the other pair. My hands go, like when I'm trying it on, my hands want to do like this. There's nothing there. So, yeah. All right, so I'm pinning this. And again, it's one pocket, literally right sides facing, one pocket on each each side for each leg. So there's 4 pockets and you should pin each pocket separately. So I'm pinned the first side. I'm going to turn my shorts over and I'm going to pin the other 2 pockets, one on each side. Again, right sides facing each other. So this fabric is going to be facing down. Oh, did the same thing. Cut these on a fold. Oh, apparently I cut it, but not all the way. So speaking of other things going on, I mentioned this last week and I'm going to mention it again this week. It's a really, in my opinion, exciting time in the sewing community because there are lots of, challenges going on. And I just love to see all the challenges really keeping me inspired. I mean, again, I said this before, but I have literally sewed more in the last 2 weeks than I've sewn in the last 2 months. And part of that is really just all that I see going on within our sewing community, just really feeling inspired. Hopefully others are feeling inspired as well to either engage more, bring other people into the sewing community. So I am personally going to be participating in, I think I'm doing almost all the challenges. I'm doing the Hot Girl Summer Sewing Challenge. I'm doing the BSN Juneteenth Challenge, which focuses on highlighting Black design pattern designers. And I am doing the Hackathon Challenge. I feel like I'm forgetting one. But yes, I'm doing those 3. So if you're doing a challenge, and I've been reposting because I'm telling you, I'm so inspired. I've been seeing what people are doing and reposting them because it's so amazing to see how 2 people can take the same pattern and have completely different looks. I love it though. I really love it. And it's just so awesome to me that is the case. Okay, so here we go. What you are looking at right now is, and let me just pin this right here too, just so I can hold it up and you can see it really well. you are looking at the way that I have pinned this, and I'm just going to put a pin just to hold it. This is not a pin that is for stitching purposes, but I'm doing this again because I feel like if you've attached pockets a million times, this is not going to be new information for you. But if you are watching this and this is what I would consider a beginner friendly pattern, and you're like, how do I put on pockets? Because there are sometimes a lot of ways. This is one of the ways that you put on pockets. And so what I want to demonstrate here is that there are 4 pockets and that you are putting 1 pocket on each side, and it is only being pinned to the side that you are putting it on. So for example, here is, I'm just going to hold this. Here is my 1 pocket on this side, and it's not pinned to the back. It's only pinned to that side. So when I stitch it, I am literally just going to stitch from the top of the pant to the bottom of the pocket. And I'm going to repeat that step on every pant, for every pocket. Again, you're not going to be attaching the front to the back at this time. You are just pinning it along from the pocket to the pant leg. So you're going to do that 4 times, 4 separate stitches. So very important that you do it that way. And then we're going to talk about the next step. Thank you so much, Black Sun Network, for the super chat. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. I love that you are so supportive. And this is great because any funds or money or support that I get, I look to ways to reinvest it back into our sewing community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to now 5/8, or actually less than 5/8. We are going to do this at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. We're going to stitch each of our pockets in. Okay, so the official names of the challenges: Hot Girl Summer New Look Challenge. So you got to use New Look patterns, BSN Juneteenth Challenge, and the Pattern Hackathon. So those are the challenges that are available to you. So if you're interested, make sure you participate. And if not, just look and see the other people that are participating. Let me see. And if you look on the BSN page, Carmen has posted them, and she will be posting them again, because a lot of those challenges, some of them I think are ending on June 30th or July 1st. So anyway, go back and look at the page in the next day or so, and you should see the pattern. You could also follow Rochelle Handmade Designs, I think is her handle, because she has some of the challenges posted as well, particularly the Hackathon Challenge and the New Look Hot Girl Summer Challenge. So take a look at her page, Instagram or YouTube, and you will be able to find those challenges. So again, we're sewing these pockets on. 3/8 of an inch seam allowance is what we're working with here. All right, 1 pocket down, 3 to go. And I'm using pins here, but I should have used clips because the pins just fall out, especially with this fabric because it's so thin and slippery. But we're making it work. We're getting it, get into it. Making it work. So again, for those that are just joining, 1, welcome. 2, we are sewing New Look 6780. We are sewing it in a knit. It's a very thin knit. The pattern, just so that you're aware, the pattern does not call for knit, but I have done it in a Ponte knit, which I'll show those again that might just be joining. So this time we're doing it in a little bit of a thinner knit just to see what the feel is. and whether it's doable. I'm doing it. So if you want to try it, you will at least know what to expect. But these are a really quick sew. So if you need something to wear to the wine festival or to, something, if you need something quick, you can definitely put this together in under an hour. Particularly if you skip the drawstring, which is aesthetic. It's not, it's not functional. And if you skip the pockets, you totally could get it done quickly. Even quicker. But even if you do the drawstring and the pockets, you can do it in under an hour. Okay, that's one. Oh, one more pocket. Okay. I will tell you that a lot of the things that I'm sewing in July, in addition, and August, in addition to them being quick sews, they are things that I either have made before or seen someone else make recently and have been like inspired to sew again. It'll be interesting because some of the things that I have in my lineup, I made over a year ago. And so it'll be interesting to see how I feel about sewing it now compared to when I sewed it over a year ago, 18 months ago even. Okay. Oh, my things came off. But my suction comes to keep my, let's see. Hi, Denise. Welcome. Hey, Tydri. And I saw Monica was here too. Hello. Hi, Jessie. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Abby. Hi, Miss Reisner. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. Okay, so pockets are in. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to stitch now our pockets together as well as our front and back together. So you are going to, again, open up your pants and put them now right sides facing. So this is how they should look as you're pinning them together. You want to be having the right sides facing each other, which means that the inside is facing out. And now you are going to be stitching together your pocket, around your pocket, and then down the side seam. So first things first, we're going to pin or clip, whatever you prefer. Hey, Rosalind, welcome. Happy Friday. For those that may have just joined, I am asking for your help with picking my Frocktails outfit. For those that are my, like, you know how they have, you ever watch that TV show where you can like phone a friend or whatever? Well, I have a couple of you I've been talking to, and you have helped me come to some conclusion. And I'm sad to say that I'm still like on the fence about it all. So I'm reaching out to the sewing community so that they can help. So I posted a poll. I will be putting it on my YouTube as well when we finish the sew along, but it's on Instagram right now. I have 4 looks that I need your help with. If you can vote before Sunday evening, that would be really helpful, because beginning July 1st is on and popping. Gotta start working on my outfit because I literally have 8 available sewing days. I think that's what I counted, 8, because I have a lot of work-related travel. I'm not home as much, so I got to get right to it. No time. So whatever is the majority is what I'm going to be working on, and I will be sharing fabric options. I will be sharing patterns that I'm going to be using. So you all will be with me in this process. I'll be giving you some feedback and getting some, I'm sorry, I'll be telling you what I'm doing and getting some feedback from you all as well. So thank you in advance for voting. Thank you, Shamira. Thank you for the super chat or super thanks. I appreciate it. Also, a reminder, if you are not following Shamira on Instagram, she set a personal goal to hit 2,000 by the end of the month. That is less than 2.5 days away. She is 140 away from that. And every week it's all hands on deck, right? Because this is not just her goal, this is our goal. Our goal is to get her to 2,000. This is a community goal. So I need you all to go and follow if you're not following. And if you are following, then share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that if they want to follow some of the hottest content on social media, they need to be following Shamir. And in a second, I'm going to pause so I can type. For those that are on YouTube and Facebook, her IG handle is in the chat already, and TikTok, I'm about to put it in the chat for you right now, because look, this is how, for those that might be new to our sewing community, this is what we do. Look, I say this all the time, support is an action word. So we show and we tell, right? So I'm telling now, and we all together are going to show. So we're going to get us, because it's our goal, to 2,000 by midnight, 11:59, June 30th. This is our goal, and I know we could do it. All right, so I have pinned all the way around. I'm going to show you really quick before I sew it up. Okay, let's see. Let me show you. Hold this up without sticking myself a million times. And I'm actually going to hold up half of it so you can see. So what you're looking at right now is I have pinned all the way around the pocket. So we're going to stitch there, and then we are going to stitch down. We are also going to put a spacing stitch right in this top part as well. We're going to just put a little basting stitch in this top part. Now, I'm going to tell you something that the instructions don't tell you to do. Yes, they do. Actually, they do tell you to do, but we're not doing it. But I'm going to tell you because you can do it, and you probably should do it, which is to put in a understitch. And so what an understitch is going to do, let me see, I think I did do that. Oh no, I didn't do it on there, but I did do it on my pocket here. So you can't see it because I have it pinned. But basically what it does is it keeps your pocket, it keeps the inside, your inside of your pocket inside, and the outside on the outside. It keeps it from kind of running over. It is a very good thing to do. And you should, if you're making these shorts, you should understitch. And so I'm just going to tell you, when you are understitching, basically what you are doing, and you're doing that before you do this step. So before you stitch all the way around is when you should understitch. You are basically taking all of your seam allowance, which you see this part right here. You're taking all of your seam allowance and you are pushing it to the side of the pocket, and you're going to stitch right next to the seam. And that's going to basically pull that, again, make the inside stay inside and the outside stay outside. So that is what you should be doing. We're not doing that step with these, but that is what you should do. And again, you're going to do it before you connect the front and the back because it's easier. You could do it after, but it's easier to do it before you connect. And you would do that for each of the pockets. So 4 times. 4 times you would do that. Okay, so with that said, we are now going to stitch all the way around the pocket and then down the side seam. And 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is, but you could do less. It's not going to hurt you if you did 3/8 of an inch. So we are stitching all the way around. Thank you, Aisha. I appreciate you too, friend. Look, you all are showing up and showing out today. I love it. Thank you. I feel so appreciated right now. Yes, so Miss Reisner said, understitching is super important and it only takes 2 minutes, and she is 100% correct. 100% in every way. And from watching all of her garments and the things that she makes, I know, like, you got to listen to the best. When the best says you should understitch, you should understitch. So thank you for that. Okay. So the one thing I do worry about with this super thin fabric is that it's going to get sucked into the machine. So that's why I'm going a little bit slower, because I'm nervous. I'm nervous that it's going to get sucked in. Okay, so I didn't do one continuous stitch again because this fabric is so thin. I'm very nervous that it will get sucked in there. So I just went around the pocket, and now I am just going from the bottom of the pants, and I am doing that 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. The other thing is that you do want to, when you are going up the side seam of the leg, you want to go like, let me see, do they tell you a measurement? They do not, but there are dots. So there are dots that go probably, I would say, it's probably a 1.5 inches above where the pocket ends. And basically that just helps to create the cup for the pocket. So you should basically continue to go up straight until you get to the dot. But it's about, if I had to tell you the measurements, it's probably like 1.5 inches after you get to the edge of the pocket. And then make sure you back stitch as well. And then you want to do the same thing at the top. And you are going to go down to the dot as well. So there's a dot probably like 1 inch in, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to stitch, and again, it's just creating the pocket, so it's not just open. And then when you get to that dot, you're going to do a little back stitch. And let me just show you what I mean. So you can see right here, let me just show you right here at the top of the pocket where I did like 1 inch down. And then at the bottom, probably easier to look at it on this side. Open this up. Can you see which side is better? Okay, here we go. This is at the bottom of the pocket. You could see right here where I stitched. And it's this is the bottom of the pocket. And then here is where I stitched up a little bit just to create that cupping. And now we're going to stitch the other side. Same thing, go around the pocket. 3/8 of an inch seam allowance is what we're using. And we're going all the way around. I gotta rethread my machine. It's telling me to rethread, but we're gonna finish this pocket first. Hello, 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 welcome. I'm going slow because I do not want my fabric sucked in here, because then together we will be spending time getting it out. There we go. And again, when you get to the end, just make sure that you back stitch when you get to the end of your pocket. If you don't do one continuous stitch, which is possible, I have done that before, from the pocket all the way down the side seam, but I'm not doing it with this because it is, the fabric is just way too thin. And I feel like that's the fastest way to get my fabric sucked into the bottom of the machine. All right, let me turn my light on. And let me put in Shamira's handle. Where is it? I want to get it right. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here we go. Okay. I am putting this in chat. Let's see. Can I type in here? Comment. Here we go. So follow Shamir on IG. Shift at, where is it, Lord? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna put it right there. At EREMIHS. So it's her name spelled backwards, dot so dot creative. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Now I am stitching just the bottom part of these shorts. doing the same thing that I did on the other side, which is I'm going to go up to the dot, continue to stitch straight up to the dot, which is about 1.5 inches, past the edge of the pocket, back stitch a little bit, and then we're going to do the same thing at the top. There is a dot that goes about 1 inch from the top of the pocket, and you're going to stitch through both sides of the pocket. That's about 1 inch, and then you're going to back stitch. And the last thing that we're going to do in the pocket is that we are going to do just a basting stitch across this top of the pocket. And so for my basting stitches, I adjust my stitch length to 5.0. So I am doing that right now. The main thing that I always tell people about doing basting stitches is make sure you turn it back to your regular stitch width. So you don't accidentally sew a major part with a basting stitch. It has happened to the best of us. All right, so that is step number 7 if you are following along in the instructions. So again, for those that might just be joining, we are doing New Look 6780. I don't know if I ever even showed you the pattern. We're doing these shorts. We're doing a modified version of them in that, well, modified in that we are not using the recommended fabrics. We're using a knit instead of a recommended fabric. I will tell you what I did in terms of the adjustment to accommodate the fact that I'm using a knit is I cut a size 10, whereas when I did the Ankara fabric version, I used a size 14. And it fit me well in the waist, but the pants are intended to have a looser look. So I did make some modifications to narrow the width and the length of the shorts. And I did not do any of those modifications when I cut a size 10 because it's already much smaller. But I'm still a little nervous because guess what? It feels big. But anyway, we're gonna have elastic around the waist, so that should take some of that away. Okay, all right, where are we? We are moving on to our so we're putting our shorts to the side for right now. Oh, sorry. Another thing that I'm not doing with these shorts is there is a pleat in the front of the shorts. So you can't see it, but I did do them on the Ankara version. I did not do them on the knit version. I did not do the pleat. So I'm not doing the pleat here, but there is a pleat on the front of the shorts, and that's another modification that I am not doing. The pleat is not only aesthetic, but as you know, it helps to narrow in the waist. And that does help because, again, as I mentioned earlier, the pants are made to be a looser feel. And so in order to, get some of that looseness out in a way that gives you a little bit of an aesthetic, there is a pleat. So I'm not doing the pleat, but there is a pleat that you would do. So I just want to make you all aware that is a step that we're not doing with these shorts. We're not putting the pleat in. Okay, so we're going to put that to the side, the shorts to the side for right now. And I'm going to have you get out your ties and also your piece number 8. So you should have one piece. And this is where this is where you're creating kind of the faux drawstring piece. You are advised to put interfacing on it, and we're going to do that right now. We're going to cut a piece of interfacing. Here we go. So this is pattern piece number 12. So we're going to cut a small piece of interfacing, and we're going to interface it on. Hi, Auntie Carol. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Happy Friday. All right, there's that. Moving that over to the side. Let's see. Hi, Mary J. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Hey, Tip Stitch, welcome, welcome. Hi, Burley, welcome. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all for joining. And again, thank you to Shamira and Aisha and Black Sewing Network and Carmen for all of the super chats. Greatly appreciated. You know, again, I say this all the time when we are on live, just how amazing our sewing community is, because, you know, we're just so supportive of each other. It's one of the reasons why I became, even in my early sewing career, I call this my sewing career, felt comfortable getting on live, because I always knew at the end of the day, I could, you know, pull one of our sewing people up and they were going to help us. So we are in this together. So I feel very much appreciated. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we have officially attached our interfacing to our piece number 12. And I was on the fence about whether I was going to add those strings or not, but I'm going to add it because I cut it out. So that must mean that I decided I was adding it by default. Shamir, I agree. You know what? One of the things that helps me, so Shamir said, you know, I love that I get the opportunity to watch other people's process and not have to worry about my own. Look, I will tell you that watching other people's process is one of the reasons that I have been inspired to like get on and sew, because when I was a new sewist, sometimes it was hard for me to find patterns that had a sew along with it, and those were the only ones that I was doing. If it did not have a sew along, I wasn't doing it unless I could do it or watch someone else do it. And so that's one of the best things about Black Sewing Network, because we are basically pushing millions is an overstatement. Hundreds, I think hundreds is probably accurate. Hundreds of sew-alongs out into the sewing community that new sewists now all of a sudden have access to. Like, that is, to me, amazing. So people are probably more likely to try something or even gauge like what's in there. You know, what do they feel comfortable with in terms of sewing? So kudos to us for, you know, making sure that we are sewing or creating an opportunity for people to sew things that they otherwise may not have sewn. So I'm just transferring over these marks, because guess what? This is where we are going to be attaching our ties. So this is the part that we all love. Everyone loves creating ties, right? I'm being facetious. This is like my least favorite part of sewing. Hi, Miss Alethea. Thank you for peeping in. I appreciate you for doing that. All right, so here's our ties. We are going to pray that these are quick, because I should have done them ahead of time. So you're going to take the tie, you're going to fold it in half, right sides together. So folding it in half, right sides together, and then you are going to stitch across the top and down the side. And you're going to do that 2 times, one for each tie. Let me move Maxine out the way. All right, here we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, there's that. I accidentally pressed on the I accidentally pressed on the foot, and it started snowing, as it should. Okay, here we go. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. The very thing I told you don't do, I did, which is don't readjust my my stitch width. Thank you. Thank you all for following Shamir. Thank you, Lisa. I'm also asking, in addition to following, is to tell a friend to tell a friend. So share, send her page to, your friends. She has lots of great content on her page. It's almost like she's got some stuff that's like watching a little trailer for a movie. They will be enthused for sure. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm just taking out this little piece. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. And so you're going to repeat this 2 times. Again, this is a step that you could very well skip. It is for aesthetics. It's not functional. So you could definitely decide, I'm just going to stitch both of the pieces together, and I'll tell you what you need to do if you do decide to skip this step. So this is for those that are following along or watching after the fact. This is step number 9. And if you have made this, drop it in the chat. Let me know what fabric you used. How did you think it was? Do you agree that this is beginner friendly pattern? I will tell you, if this is your first time sewing it, I definitely think you could do everything, including the ties and the pockets. But if you want to ease into it, you could definitely do it without the ties and the pockets. All right, 1 tie put together. We're going to do the second one. Again, same thing. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Monica. Thank you so much for that super chat. Super thanks, I think. I always get the colors mixed up. I appreciate y'all for joining and for watching. So I'm going to give y'all also, like, while I have you, I might as well give you an update with where we're at with the blazer. So you all know we did the Simplicity blazer over 4 weeks, about a month ago, I guess it's been now. No, we finished it up right before Frocktail, so it will be a month and about a week. And so I reached out to Auntie Carol to make some. So the blazer's finished. I pressed it out and everything, and I'm wearing. It's not going to be a blazer. It's going to be a dress. So I decided that I wanted to put cinch the waist in a little bit and put 2 pieces of elastic in. And then I also decided that I wanted to cut the sleeve and make it a 3/4 length taper sleeve. So talk about how we phone a friend. We reach out. So I reached out to Auntie Carol to find out, like, how do I make those two adjustments? Because, you know, again, my motivation slash inspiration for sewing is I never want to wear a garment that doesn't flatter me, that I don't like the way it looks. And us together, we spent 4 weeks on this. Like, I want it to be everything I want it to be. And so I wanted to go back in and make those adjustments. So Auntie Carol did tell me exactly what I needed to do to achieve that look. So I am in the process of making those few minor edits that she helped me figure out how to make. So I promise that you all will see the final outcome of this blazer dress. It's going to be a dress, but it totally could be a blazer or jacket. It's not something that I'm going to wear in the summer, but in the fall, absolutely, with some high knee boots. Like, when I take the pictures in it, I'm going to take pictures in it with a fall look, because it's giving a fall look. So I'm excited about it because it is super cute. So I just want to give y'all an update, because I appreciate that y'all tuned in week after week after week while we worked on this blazer. And some of y'all actually completed it and have sent me your pictures. So kudos to y'all for making the wonderful garments that you made. They were awesome. What are we doing here? See, look, just like that, it got stuck in there. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's our strings. And I am going to just cut this seam allowance down. And then we're going to turn these inside out. Where are we at? Okay, 17 minutes after. So we probably just, after all those announcements, we probably just hit our 1 hour mark right now. Things always take a little bit longer when you're on live, but I promise you this is a very quick sew. Just to give you an example, the green knit, Ponte knit ones that I just showed you, I made those, I'm going to say an hour total. I made them I got a call, Carmen and I were just catching up, and I literally made the entire shorts while we were on this phone call. So it's a quick show. So, all right. So, and I'm just going to cut this one down, and then I'm going to turn them, which is my favorite part of making ties. Just kidding. My least favorite part of sewing is making ties, of which turning them is the least favorite of all the things. So 4th of July weekend is coming up. Everybody's probably off. Anybody doing anything, I'm going to be sewing, enjoying my time off. I know what else I wanted to tell you all. So this weekend, if you all aren't aware, Jamie, I think her handle is So Creative by Jamie, I think is what it is. Don't quote me on that. She is a shoe designer. She sells kits for how to make Birkenstocks. And so I ordered 6 kits for me, my daughters, my sisters, and my mom. And this weekend we are having a sewing party where we're going to be making Birkenstocks. So I'm excited because, you know, I sent them the information. They all ordered. Here we go. I'm sorry, I cut the wrong tool. They all ordered their leathers, which I'll give you all a little sneak peek. They haven't even seen their leathers. I haven't shared with them. So you all are going to get to see. So I'm using this to turn my ties inside out. So I'm grabbing onto them, to this edge, and then I am holding on to one end and pulling it down. And there are lots of ways to do this. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do whatever works. Sometimes I try like 2 or 3 different things, and then ultimately I do whatever works. And I think Auntie Carol had told me a way, and it did work. Okay, here we go. All right, look at that. So it started moving and then I lost it. Okay, I think I got it again. Look at that. The universe is on our side. Here we go. Look at that. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that. This is like the record. This is the record for turning. We should have a contest to see who can turn a tie the fastest. I'm going to do that at one of these sewing retreats. That's going to be my game. Who can turn a tie the fastest? Because let me tell you, these things is no joke. Oh, look at this. I think I'm 2 for 2. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Did y'all see that? This is unheard of. I broke my own record. I have broke my own record for turning ties the fastest because I'm determined not to make a liar out of myself that this is a fast sew. Okay, so with that said, we now are going to attach. So here's our piece number 12. We have dots that we have transferred, and we are going to be attaching and pinning our tie to over the large dot. So you're going to do it on the right side. So I transferred my dot to the wrong side. So I'm just going to transfer it again to the right side, and you are going to be pinning it to, let me just, a large dot. This is the large dot. So I'm pinning it to the large dot. All right, there we go. So I'm going to pin it, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I'm stitching. So you can see. Let's see. Thank you so much, Carmen. I appreciate you for the super chat. All right, I'm pinning this one down, and I'm going to show it to you. Exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. So here is, these are the large dots down the bottom. These are the pins. So right side to right side, and then you are literally going to stitch across right here where my finger is moving. You're going to just do a stitch across, enough to secure it. So that is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going back and forth a couple of times, even though it will, oh, wait a minute. I made a mistake. Let me tell you one thing. You actually, I have them facing the wrong direction. So this is what happens when you sew so many times. You make little mistakes when you follow the directions. So let me just, I need to take this out. When you are pinning down your tie, you want them to be facing each other. So the direction of it, so I have it facing out, you actually want to face it in. So I'm going to, I stitched one down. So I'm going to take it out so I can restitch it, facing in the right direction. It's so amazing how you figure out something like, oops, after you've done it. You said what? You would lose that contest. Look, let me tell you, 99% of the time I would lose too. So I used a loop turner. So here is the loop turner. If you could see that. Let me see, I try to give it a little background so you can see it a little bit. That's the loop turner. And it comes in different lengths. So that's a medium one. I have a longer one as well, and a shorter one. And it has like a little hook on the end with a little latch on the end. But sometimes I've done a lot of different things. I've seen people stitch a thin piece of fabric or thread, and then they stitch it down and they pull that out. I've seen that on YouTube because I was looking for multiple ways. I tried to do that and the thread just came out. So that was a bust. But it's got to be a way because I saw it happen on YouTube. So somebody, unless it was magic. You said, oh, I have that, and it took me 30 minutes to do one strap. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, I've had those 30 minutes for one strap kind of situations. You saw me do it in this few seconds, so it's possible. I will tell you, it's rare that I do them as quick as I did them today. So let me tell you, I got favored today. Thank goodness. I'm appreciative for the favor I have been granted today. Okay. So putting this back on, and again, we're making it facing towards the inside and doing a couple of stitches. And doing the same thing with the other one. I got to turn it around and making it face inward. And now I'm stitching that down. All right, so now we have stitched both of these pieces down. And the next thing that we are going to be doing is finding our casing that we have here. Now, you do not need interfacing on your casing. And we are going to take our casing. We're going to open it up because you cut it on the fold. We're going to open it up, and right sides together, we are going to attach it to our piece number 12. So this is our casing is piece number 13. We're going to attach piece number 12 and piece number 13 together. And let me see, what did I do here? I'm just making one more adjustment. So when I stitch this, I didn't put it all the way to the end. So I'm just going to put it in again. But move the, because I want to make sure that the edge of the, all right, there we go. I'm just going to sew this again. Okay, here we go. I didn't take my tie all the way to the end, which means that it would be exposed at the end when I stitch both the casing and the piece number 12 and piece number 13 together, which creates the whole waistband. So you're going to put them together, right sides together, and we are going to stitch them together, and you should stitch them enclosing the raw edge of the tie. You're going to be enclosing that. You also want to make sure that you don't have your fabric, your band is not twisted. So it should not be twisted. As you can see, it's not twisted. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. You also want to make sure that your ties are facing the center so that they don't get caught up when you stitch the edges together. And I'll show you in a minute exactly what I mean. Okay, so here is it's attached, right sides together. And then my ties are here. So one thing you might want to do is take both of your ties and just clip them together so that they don't get caught up when you're stitching. Or you can even tie it loosely so you don't pull the fabric, but it just keeps it in the middle. So now I am going to do one stitch down here and the same thing on the other side, again enclosing the raw edge of the tie. All right, one side done. And now we are doing the other side. And I'm sewing these at 5/8 of an inch because I took my tie all the way to the end. But the main important thing is to make sure that the raw edge is enclosed. And then back stitch it. Okay. Now we are going to take our band and we are going to fold it in half. You're going to fold it in half, wrong sides facing. So the right side should be facing out. So it should look like this. This is your completed band. This is the front of your band where you have your ties at. This is again a fake or faux tie. So now that you have that, you're going to take your shorts. You're going to turn them right sides facing out. And they're going to feel like super big because they are. They're going to feel super, super big. So here are your shorts. And you are going to take your casing. And well, the first thing, before we do that, I'm actually going to have you do a basting stitch around your waistband. And that will just help keep it together when you are stitching the entire thing. So we're going to do that first. We're going to put in a basting stitch. And I'm also going to cut off this excess tie piece. And cut off the excess seam allowance. Because it's just going to create bulk and you don't need it. So I would just cut those things off. All right. Then you're going to fold it out. Fold it in half. And it may help to clip it before you base stitch it. So putting in a couple of clips, like lining up your seams and your notches, because you do have notches. And I'm just going to use clips because it's easier. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the loop turners are not the easiest thing. And like I said, I've had trouble. Most of the time I have difficulty turning it, like 99% of the time, which is why ties, if it was as easy as it was when I just did it, I wouldn't have an issue with ties at all. Like sometimes I don't pick a pattern because it has ties, because I'm like, do I feel like that today? No, I do not. So I don't do it. So I do not do it. Okay. All right, let's see. Just making sure I didn't. You said where, so D asked, where did I get my fabric from? So this fabric I got from Joann's. And I got this fabric, if I remember correctly, it was on like the last chance, bin or pile. So it was super cheap, like a couple of dollars a yard. It was very inexpensive because I got it on last chance. So I got my clips in. I'm going to do a basting stitch around just to make it easier. And then we're going to tap, the last step that we're going to do is, two steps, which is one, to attach our waistband to our pants. And then the last is to add in the elastic. Okay, here we go. So I am doing this basting stitch. I'm doing the basting stitch at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Oops, here we go. Thread came out. So I'm just putting that back in. So I'm doing it at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and that way I don't have to really remove it. That's the laziness in me, not wanting to remove my seam allowance. So I have a question for everyone. Does anyone here like put their sewing machine in the shop just for like regular maintenance? I've had my sewing machine for a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in December. I sew as you all know, I sew regularly, like all the time. And I haven't put my machine in the shop. I mean, I put the oil in that it came with because it'll assign a little, whenever the little message comes up saying you should oil me now or something, I do that. And I take my little brush and I brush it out when it gives me a little sign that says, hey, we got some things going on inside, too much lint in the machine. But I haven't just like took it to get service just because. Does anyone do that? Does anyone take their machine and put it in for service just because, like, I don't know, it's the right thing to do or something? I'm just curious because I'm just wondering if I should be doing that. I have not done it and just wondering if I should. When you are putting in your basting stitch, make sure you don't get your your ties caught up. Move them out the way. Not that you can't get it out unstuck, because you can, but an unnecessary step you can avoid if you don't have to. Okay. All right, basting stitch is in. Now we are taking this and we are putting it on our shorts. Now, this is the one thing I will tell you about how you put this into the shorts. You want to make sure that you do line up your notches and that you line up your raw edges. You also want to make sure that you, okay, here we go, that you, well, if you line up your notches and then the middle, that faux tie should be centered in the front of your shorts. You do have notches. Okay, here go mine. And here they go. Okay, so yeah, if you line those notches up, you should not have the problem. I think I had a problem when I first did it because I think I didn't transfer some of the notches, but I can see them both here, and so it's going to be lined up. So you're going to again take your band, you're going to place it like around your shorts, right sides together, raw edges facing up. And you are literally going to match up again your notches that you have on your band with the notches that are on your shorts. And you're going to pin it all the way around. And the other thing you want to make sure that you do is you need to leave open an area so you can insert your elastic. So although we did a basting stitch all the way around it, you're gonna leave open an area and then open up that basting stitch so that you can get your elastic in. So what I tend to do is I tend to mark it differently. For example, I use a red color clip that kind of says to myself, stop, so I don't go past it and stitch over where I need to be putting in. Okay. And again, because this is stretchy a little bit, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to clip my basting stitch now that I have it attached, just because it is restricting my ability to stretch my fabric so that it can fit completely around. So I have some extra room, some extra shorts that I need the band to be stretched onto. And so when you do that basting stitch, it doesn't let you stretch it. So as you're clipping it, you can just, as you're pinning it, once you have it pinned, if you do need to stretch it a little bit more than what you're able to, you can use your seam ripper to remove some of that basting stitch so you can get that stretch you need. So that your band can fit all the way around your shorts. So I did need to do that. All right, got that on there. I think that's on. Oh, here we go. Here's my piece that is not attached. And all I'm doing right now is literally stretching my band a little bit so that I can fit. And I'm removing some parts of like my basting stitch so that I can stretch. Here we go. Being careful not to stretch my shorts out. And this part can take a little bit because you have to go around it a couple times. But you want to make sure that that front part stays centered, and then your back also stays centered as well. So you have a notch in your back. That back notch should line up with your back center seam because you don't want it twisted around. Other than that, you can ease in your sides. And this is where it's helpful to put it on your dress form. Y'all know I like to do that, but I have clothes on all my dress forms, so I'm not able to. All right, come on. Here we go. All right, let me see what I'm working with here. Okay, so that's there. That's able to. That's centered. All right, almost there. I got one little part I need to stretch out. And I had to do this with the Ponte as well, just not as much. I think because this is super thin, it's a little bit more. I did not have to do this with the cotton because it just fit perfectly without any manipulation or stretch at all. So Dee said she takes her sewing machine apart and deep clean it. Okay, look at you. You like, I take mine apart and deep clean it myself. Well, I need to get my skills up because let me tell you, I can't even begin. Let me tell you what I taking it apart is taking off the faceplate. That's what I call taking my sewing machine apart. I know that's not what you're doing, but that's the extent of my ability to take apart my sewing machine is to take the faceplate off. Oh, wait a minute. This cannot move. This is my center. Okay. Let me see. Anybody else says? Hi, Jess. Welcome. We are to the last part, which is fitting this waistband. So this is what I'm learning about this knit, this regular stretchy knit, which is that, okay, I think this is it. I think this is it. Which is that when you are attaching your waistband to your fabric, it is definitely much more involved because it's much stretchier fabric. So putting in that basting stitch definitely does restrict it to some extent. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. I think I have gotten it. I've gotten all of the loose parts. Okay, and it's centered. I got my back notch with the back, the front with the front, the sides with the sides, and we worked in everything else in between. So we are finally to the point where we are sewing this in with a regular stitch, but remember we have to keep a part of it open so that we can put in our elastic. So we just got to make sure we don't forget that we want to be able to put in our elastic. So I'm just going to put that right there. And here we go. So I'm stitching this in at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Lining up making sure my raw edges are lined up. And there we go. And making sure nothing is like balled up underneath. And so the other thing that I just realized too is that the reason why I probably have this extra fabric is because remember we did not put in, or this looseness around the shorts is that we skipped the not darts, the what do we say, where is it? We're not talking about. Well, let's look at our pleats. We skipped the pleats, and that is it wasn't an issue when I did the Ponte knit. I put pleats in, but that also might have been why this was. So I did not do pleats again when I did the I did not do pleats when I did the Ponte knit, but apparently this looser fabric, I probably needed to do the pleats. That's probably why it was a little bit looser. So again, just another takeaway that I have gained from doing this looser fabric. Again, this pattern is not intended for knits, but I did do it with the Ponte knit, and we're now going to see what it looks like with this knit that we're doing right now, which is a much more looser knit. Again, making sure that your raw edges are lined up. Again, you have 3 layers, so you want to make sure, and this is where the basting stitch comes in handy, with making sure all your layers are there and together. And I think this is the last. Nope, we're going to go through that piece. And I'm going to do a little back stitch, and now we're to that section where we're going to insert the elastic. But before I do that, I am just going to take a look at it, make sure that everything is connected the way that it should be, that there are no missing pieces. And it is attached, except for this one part that I left open. And that's where we're going to insert the elastic. So we are literally down to the wire. So here is the elastic. So the elastic is the length of my waist, and I stretch it out a little bit as well. And I'm actually going to cut this because I feel like it's still a little bit too long, because I like it to have a little snug fit. So this elastic, and I can still stretch it out so I know I can get it over my hips, but it's going to fit nice and snug. So that little section that I did not attach, I am taking my seam ripper and I'm opening up my basting stitch so I can insert the elastic. And this is literally the last step. is putting in the elastic into the waistband. All right, so I took the basting stitch out. So I have a little opening here. I am going to put, where is my, so I'm going to use a safety pin on one end. And I usually, that opening, I usually do not close it until after I try on the shorts or the pants or whatever it is. And then I'm going to take a smaller safety pin, put it on the other end, and attach it to just a part of the shorts, just so that I don't lose my waistband. This is a pretty big waistband, so probably not going to be an issue, but just in case. And now I'm going to insert it in, making sure that it's not twisted. And so I'm literally just inserting this, and I'm using the safety pin to help me pull it through. This elastic that I'm using, it's not my favorite elastic because it's not as soft and pliable as other elastic. It's more firm. It says it's waistband elastic, so that's probably why it's more firm, but it makes it harder to get it through. I had this when I put it in all of but the good news is that this is the last piece of it, so I won't be getting this kind. I guess it serves its purpose, but I like my elastic a little bit more pliable than this one. But it's very firm. Like, if you look at it, you can see it's not soft. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just harder to insert into things. So you can't just like squish it and pull it through. It really just takes a little bit more effort to get it through. So with something like this, you probably don't even need the safety pin because it just has so much structure to it. So I'm just manipulating the waistband so that I can get the elastic all the way through and around. And it's going around pretty, not as effortlessly as I would like, but it's going. And again, that has to do with this type of elastic. It's that waistband elastic that's much more firm. Let's see. Hi, Sheila E. Welcome. Thank you, Miss Tata. Thank you for all the gifts. How are you doing this evening? Let's see. Hi, Diane. Diane said, okay, Dee said, I don't touch the display part of the machine, but I clean and oil the moving pieces. I think I'm supposed to be doing something like that, Dee. I'm going to reach out to Julian. Julian's probably going to say, LaShawn, put your machine in the shop. That's probably what he's going to tell me. Hey, Cynthia. So Diane said, I send my machine in, especially if I haven't used it for a while. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I probably should. I mean, I use my machine all the time, but I just feel like, we put all this money, we spend all this money on our machines, and I want it to last forever. As close to forever as we could get. Hey, Cynthia. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I do. Okay. We're down to the last little bit. We are, for those that are just joining, okay, and I think, we're almost to the end. We're making new look 6780, which is, we're doing the shorts. View B, and we are down to one of the last steps that we are doing on live, which is to put the waistband in. Then we're going to be trying these on, which I'm very excited about. and seeing exactly how it looks. Just for a recap, we have done this in a knit, which the pattern does not call for knit, but that is what we've done just to try, like to explore, like what options do we have and with this pattern. And I did it in a ponte knit. It worked very well. And I probably will show you those just so you can see what it looks like. So now that I have put my elastic through, before I stretch it all out, I am going to overlap, and then I'm going to do 2 rows of stitches down. So I'm going to do that. And I go back and forth a couple of times. In my 2 rows. All right, and you also want to make sure it's not twisted before you stitch it together, your elastic together. You want to make sure it's straight, because otherwise it'll be twisted in your waistband. And then I also leave the stitch together part in the opening, so that way if I do need to come back and make adjustment to it, I can do that easily. So in other words, I try not to pull it through. I pull the fabric around the other end so that it makes it easier if I need to make an adjustment. Hopefully I don't, and everything is going to work out, but sometimes it's too loose and I do need to go in and make it smaller. So all I'm doing at this point is pulling the elastic through. Where's my overlap piece? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. So we got it in. And so here's my opening piece that I still need to stitch down. And I still have to line this up somewhat, but there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. And I got to manipulate this fabric around. You can see it's a little twisted, but it's only the fabric, not the so I'm going to do that before I stitch it down. Well, I'm going to put just a basting stitch in here, because so that way you can see what it looks like. You can get a real feel for what it looks like. All right, let me see. That's that. That's that. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. I feel like I twisted it back. I don't know why this is. Okay, here we go. Again, I'm just twisting the fabric around so we'll be lined up. All right, and then I'm just going to put a quick basting stitch. Since this opening is in the front, you're going to see it when I try it on. So I'm just going to baste it down really quickly. And again, I'm just doing a basting stitch here just in case when I try it on, if it doesn't fit right, it'll be easier for me to get to the elastic. All right, and then I'm going to try this on. All right, here we go. Quick basting stitch. raw edges of the band. Okay. All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go and try this on. Here's the finished shorts. Here we go. And I have to, oh, here we go. Let me turn it. So here's the finished shorts. And I do have to hem the bottom, which I'm not going to do online. So here's the finished shorts, very springy. And I'm going to try them on with this top. Again, it's not an exact match, but it does have like this part and this match. So you'll get a feel. I'll be right back. I'm going to try it on and you'll get to see. All right, here we go. So here's the shorts. And as you can see, they still do have a little bit of a loose fit. This is a size 10 without me doing any alterations to the length or the width of the pants. I do feel like it fits really well around the waist. I don't know if you all can see. But here is the faux tie. It's an elastic waistband that goes all the way around. I feel like the inseam fits really well. So once I hem the bottom, it'll go up probably a quarter of an inch or half an inch. I'll probably hem, and that'll give it a nice little finished, look to it. The pockets I think are good. I don't feel like they're poking out on the sides. They lay fairly flat. So like again, I feel like I want it up a little bit higher, like just mid thigh, so probably like 4 inches. So I'm probably gonna, when I hem it, I think I'm gonna hem it so that it comes up. It's not a big difference, but again, for me, I like them to be, and it's not super tight, so you can see it doesn't fit tight around the body. It's, I think, fairly, so this is like really, I think, a cute pair of shorts. They, like I said, they are a quick sew. Obviously it takes a little bit longer with instruction on live, but they are really quick sew. You can opt to not do the drawstring at the faux drawstring. You can opt to leave that part out. You can also opt to not do the pockets, but I like the pockets. So that is how this pair fits. Again, I think of what I would call a very good, fit. And this, just for reference, is McCall's 7757 View B. This is the top that I created to go with these shorts, but also with the Ponte knit shorts. So I'm going to try these on for you too, so you can see how it is different. But I feel like the only other thing I would say that might be that you should do is, if I had to do it all over again, I would probably go ahead and put the pleats in the front of this, just because, as you saw, it took a lot more manipulation to get the band on. I was able to stretch it because these are super stretchy, but the basting stitch kind of made that a little bit more difficult to do because, as you know, it limits the stretch. So I was able to do it, not a big deal. But if I had the pleats in, it probably would have it probably would have just been easy. I wouldn't have had that extra fabric in there to stretch around. Again, I did not need pleats in this one. I did not do pleats in this one and did not have any trouble getting the fabric to stretch. I mean, to fit the band, probably because this is much more structured. It's stretchy, but this has way more stretch than this. This is a thinner fabric. So anyway, I'm gonna go and try on just to show you the difference between this knit and this is a Ponte knit. Ooh, Ponte knit, which is a much thicker knit. And this is a super thin, super, super stretchy. You can see it's like very stretchy knit. It probably has twice as much stretch as Ponte knit. And I'm not going to try these ones on. These are the ones done in Ankara, but I am going to do photos with them this weekend, and we'll be posting some photos and all of the things that I've sewn over the last week or so. So I'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Diane. Dee, thank you so much. Hey, Cynthia, it's going really, really well. Been super busy, doing a lot of sewing. So I'm excited to share all the things that I have been sewing over the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to put this one on. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Clay. Thank you. Or NVK Clay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Tata. Thank you, In Sync Creatively. Shamira, thank you. Okay, I'm going to try these ones on just again so you can see the difference, and we'll talk about that too. Okay, so here are the knit version of the shorts. They pretty much fit. I'm going to be honest with you. The fit of these knit ones are pretty similar to the Ankara ones in terms of it. Again, I did do a lot of adjustment to these. This was the size 14 that I feel like pretty much fits like the size 10. So if I had to make these again, I would use a size 10 and not do all of the adjustments, because I did no adjustments to the size 10. I just cut them as the pattern was, as opposed to this one was a size 14 that I cut down to probably very close to a size 10 because it was knit. Again, no, I didn't put the pockets in this one. That's the one thing I do regret, is not having the pockets. I definitely think I could have done the pockets, but this is the Ponte knit version of the New Look 6780 shorts. And to go with it, I did this McCall 7757 View B top. So again, the only thing I regret is no pockets, but I do love I will make these again in the Ponte knit. I probably is my favorite of all the versions I've made. The regular knit, the Ankara, the Ponte knit. It feels great. They fit well. I would probably definitely make them again. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Marilyn. Let's see. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you. Sometimes I have trouble seeing all of the, oh yeah, let's see. Yes, thank you. So these I really like as well. I like them a lot. So I would encourage you, like if you have extra knit, this is probably, it's less than a yard. It's less than a yard of fabric to make these shorts. It says on here for some reason, let me see, what does the pattern say? The pattern says a yard and 1/8 for size 10. This goes up to size 22 to a yard and 5/8. Oh, this, you know what? Or if you have 60-inch with fabric, which I did have, it was less than a yard. So it's 7/8 of an inch of all the way up to 1 1/4. So depending on the width of the fabric, you can use a yard and pretty much make these shorts, because I had less than a yard of that. I had a yard of the floral fabric, and I had a good bit, a nice little section left over of it. So, Any questions? Yes, I agree. The Ponte does give a really nice fit. I definitely like it. Now these are hemmed at the bottom. I feel like once I hem the ones with the flowers, it'll take it up a little bit, and it'll have, I think, a little bit of a better fit. It's probably a little bit wider in the leg than these because I did take them down some because they were a size 14. But overall, I think it fits really well. I think it goes good with this top. It gives nice, coverage. And as you know, with this top, if you want a little bit more, you don't like your shoulders out, you can definitely put it up on the shoulders, or like if you want an off the shoulder, you know, top, you can do that too. So I like the way, and it does, give you some coverage. So if you don't like your midriff showing, you, I hadn't make any adjustments to the length of these fringe of the, I don't know, fringes or whatever you want to call them, but you could do it shorter to give you some. Yes, I think the Ponte is definitely my favorite view. So with that, I'm going to wrap up our live. Again, thank you all so much. Look out, the things that I owe you are scheduled for July and August. The goal is to have that posted. Make sure you go on to my Instagram and vote. I absolutely need your help with picking out what I'm going to do for Frocktails Baltimore. Make sure you follow Shamir on Instagram. We, our sewing community, we have a goal to get her to 2,000 by June 30th by 11:59 p.m. We can do it. So share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to follow her so we can get there. And what else? Oh, don't forget about the sewing challenges that are out. Look on the Black Sewing Network page on Instagram. Carmen is going to repost those challenges so that if you are interested in it, you can participate. Some awesome things going on. You could also look at Rochelle. Let me see. What is Rochelle's name? Rochelle. I think her handle is the same on all of her. It's Rochelle Handmade Designs. I was right. Okay, look at me remembering. Rochelle Handmade Designs. Two of the challenges I think are hers or started by her, so you could definitely get the information on her page as well. I think that's it. I know I shared a whole lot of information in this short time. Thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you all next Friday. Next Friday, we are interviewing the planning committee for Baltimore Frocktails. Exciting. Come here. I have a post about it. Drop your questions or just come. You can ask them in real time. It's going to be exciting. So make sure you all are here. See you next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.